Welcome to episode 4 of the Chi-Town Shoot Wrestling Podcast. I'm Marcin, and joining me in the squared circle are David, Chris, and Andres. We're coming at you from the heart of the wrestling world, Chicago, Illinois, bringing you the latest news, hottest takes, and all things WWE and AEW. Don't forget, folks, to send us your thoughts, your questions, and all of your predictions to chi-town-shoot-podcast@gmail.com, and we can tackle your comments in the mailbag section. Without further ado, let's start chatting. Before we get in the news, though, let's ask what's been going on for the past 2 weeks or so since our last recording. How's your Saturday? How did your Saturday go, guys?
Shit, you were there.
I guess I was, but I want to know how you felt.
No, it was good. Good vibes. Friend had a birthday.
Yeah.
Little karaoke.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Singing. I feel when I'm drunk, I feel like I'm the best dancer in the world, and I see the replay, and I'm just like
you definitely thought that. Yeah. You were definitely feeling yourself. That's for sure.
Oh, I was feeling myself, but it was like the kind of dancing you see at like white people weddings. But I enjoyed myself, and people were hyping me up. So
was it Family Guy where it's like, I forget what the skit was, but like somebody felt like they're
on LSD and they think they're amazing. But
yeah. There you
people
go.
who are sober looking at it, they're just like drooling and just screaming into the microphone. But like in their mind, they sounded like Simon and Garfunkel, and like the rainbows and stuff was flying.
Yeah.
What'd you even have, Marcin? Or did you guys have pregame before? Or?
What did I mean, I had a gin and tonic before because
What?
I had I think
the slurs.
We a little bit. Oh, you mean today? No, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, gin and tonic. We had a couple before.
What?
We went to that karaoke place, and thankfully I had a $100 bill in my pocket, so I went to Target and got some mixers because we ran out, and then just got my change back. And it was a perfectly good amount of money for, that cash only bar. So,
Yep.
But it was good. I mean, I got a chance to do some singing, some background dancer person thing.
Yeah.
I saw Jarvis recording. But yeah, it was Dan's birthday, and it was fun seeing other folks I haven't seen in a while.
Same, actually. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen like all those people. Like everyone else, I mean, outside of us, but like, but I actually was talking like a lot of like a dragon and Resident Evil with a few people there actually, so that was cool too. It was nice. But we were actually out pretty late too. I was surprised like how late it was. Like when I saw the time, like everyone
was like 1 a.m. but that bar goes until like 5 a.m. apparently, because it opens at 8, so they got there at 8 to get grab a table and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the liquor license.
It was bumping though, yeah, dude. It was really busy. It was good though.
It was bumping. Well, how about let's jump into the news. This time we're going to start a little differently. We're going to talk about AEW first, and then we have a story involving Hulk Hogan, which is pretty entertaining. Hulk Hogan in Hogamania.
What you gonna do?
AEW hires a 3-time Emmy Award-winning writer. She is Jennifer Pepperman. She used to be writing for WWE. For AEW, she's been hired as the Vice President of Content Development. She was with WWE, I think, for like 12 years or so. And she did a lot of writing for the women in WWE. And it seems like Tony Khan is trying to increase the focus of women's wrestling with Mercedes showing up next month and just kind of building up the women's wrestling across all of their shows. She is, I think, going to work alongside Tony Khan, but there hasn't been anything explicit in terms of the amount of content that she's going to be working on. Is she working side by side? Is he just going to lay his hands off the women's division and let her work on that while he does the men's division? I think that'll be interesting. But What do you guys think about this story with him hiring a new writer? Do you think it's going to help the product, or do you feel like that's not going to change a thing?
I mean, it can only help it. I would assume, right? Like, I mean, if she wrote for WWE, do we know what significant storyline she was involved with? Do we know that?
She's been helping the SmackDown's women roster for a while.
Do we know, like,
she helped create that tag team of lesbians.
When did she get hired in WWE? So what was that decade or period of time?
I feel like it's like since like 2012.
Okay.
2010, 2012. And she left not too long ago. She's been there for a while.
I mean, a lot of that women's stuff started to really kind of like come up around that time, like the Four Horsewomen and all that stuff. So I imagine it's going to be a good thing for AEW.
Yeah. I can't see it going bad. If it goes bad, that has to do with anything out of shit she can control, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah, I wonder how much power she has.
Yeah, if they give her like the absolute freedom that she wants to do as writing in it, and if she was there for the start of that women's what was it, evolution of it, or women's revolution, that
Women's
start time of it, you would say? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually very good. And that was actually a really cool time, actually, with the whole NXT story. I actually really enjoyed that a lot.
I think this also shows like fans and stuff that Tony on some level is listening to the online discourse, or like fans in general, because I'm guessing that move wasn't just like, I mean, he understands people are saying, oh, we need this, we need that, as far as like developing storylines and things like that. So I'm assuming that's where this is coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he always hypes up the product, and it comes across as AEW can really do no wrong. But I mean, as a boss, I guess, and you're trying to, you wouldn't crap on your own product, and he words it in a way where it just seems more of opportunities instead of saying like, oh, it's not doing great here or great here, which is the right thing to do. But he's obviously not as delusional as people think he is, given that he did this smart business decision by hiring another person. Because I mean, I feel like he's trying to be like a Vince McMahon, where he can kind of put his hands in every little aspect of AEW. But Vince McMahon was a unique person, but also even for him, that wasn't viable, because for WWE for the longest time, there was also not coherent storytelling. There was a lot of starts and stops and things that don't necessarily make sense, or have the audience forget about a specific angle and they just move in a different direction. So if you want to mimic Vince McMahon, I would not be doing that when it comes to storytelling.
I wouldn't even try it.
I wouldn't even attempt it.
That's my drift.
So the news that broke with him hiring this person, I think is very smart. And hopefully when it comes to collaboration and writing, she is on even footing with him. Are there other people who are writing for AEW wrestlers, or is it just Tony Khan who's coming up with all like the storylines, and is there also a collaboration with the wrestlers too? I'm not really sure what the dynamic is.
Danielson and a couple other of the really, I wouldn't say like the big vets, but just like the people that have like really long tenures in professional wrestling. Like, I think Christopher Daniels is one. Like off the top, I know Daniels, Stokely's has a big part of Ring of Honor, and then of course you got
Arn Anderson too, maybe. Right?
Probably. I know Malenko was for a while, but Dean Malenko's been pretty sick.
I forgot about Malenko.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do they call him?
The man of 1,000 holds.
Yeah.
So that's probably why Jericho's in creative, because he knows 1,004.
Yeah, I think that was 1,001, but yeah, I think it's
he has 1,004.
Armbar.
You got to bring that out, pull out the list. But
Yeah.
I think it's the right creative decision, and it'll be interesting to see as Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision move along what the storytelling is going to look like. I saw Wardlow's promo, and I mean that was a really good promo. I don't know who wrote that up for him, but what him complaining about not getting a title shot a week ago or so. That was a really good promo. So it seems like, and maybe that has nothing to do with her, but at least when it comes to storytelling for the past couple of weeks, it seems like AEW is kind of finding its footing and going in a direction that is the right direction, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, like the Sting promo, like I don't know who wrote that, or the Christian Cage and Daniel Garcia exchange was fucking great. That shit was good.
That was really good. I watched that too.
Yeah.
And that address.
Oh, look who's been watching his AEW.
Yeah, man.
Marston.
Like sometimes you just feel like I kind of just have this gut feeling of this like change that's happening. Like you just kind of like feel like that's what we're seeing right now. So I mean, time will tell, but I feel like this is going to be a pivoting point.
Yeah, and I'm genuinely excited for Revolution. Like I think just the marquee match of Sting's last match, and we'll get into this later if it actually is or how it's gonna work out. I'm actually excited for Revolution.
He's like the McRib. He's like, I'm back.
Yeah, he's gone for a limited time, then he's back. It's like Ric Flair. Birds of a feather.
Yeah, we'll talk about his ass too.
Yeah. Speaking of people from that era, let's talk about
fossils.
Hulk Hogan. So this is a little different story that we are talking about today because we normally do business related stuff, but I just thought this was kind of funny. Hulk Hogan, I feel like, is known to embellish certain details and storytelling, and perhaps there are a lot that are accurate, but a lot of folks who have worked with him, who have a different take or perspective on specific stories that he's brought up, have said that isn't true. So
400 matches a year.
Exactly. Well, that one I feel like we can all objectively say that was BS, but maybe it was a slip of the tongue. Who knows? Or, he's going senile. But Hulk Hogan, apparently, in a recent interview, he said that the head of Paramount, when he was at his peak in the Hulkamania era, he said that the head of Paramount told him that he's going to be the next John Wayne for Paramount. So this took place around like 1989-ish. So that was the peak of Hulkamania. And during this time, there were a lot of movies that he was looking to star in. And he was already, I think he did Rocky 3. No Holds Barred was also in 1989 too. So he was starting to do a little bit of movie roles. And I'll read a little bit of what Hulk Hogan said. I'm not going to do it in his Hulk Hogan voice.
Oh,
hey, brother, you might have to drop some slurs if you did.
No.
Let me tell you, PG, yeah, these YouTube videos would be like stricken down immediately. We would be banned from monetization. So what Hogan said was, it was a logical extension of where I should go in my career. Once the wrestling took off and the character Hulk Hogan became as big as the wrestling business at the time, people were reaching out to me to do other projects, commercials, Super Bowl commercials, Right Guard commercials, all kinds of stuff. The movies were a logical extension. Vince and I sat down and basically spent 3 days on Laguna Beach writing No Holds Barred, and then we brought a writer in to clean it up, who got all the credit for it because we didn't know anything about writing or the Screen Actors Guild or the Writers Guild. Once I made that film and it was successful, New Line Cinema wanted me to make more films. The problem I had with it was I loved wrestling so much, dude, and I was in the prime of my career.
Dude.
It wasn't like I was on the downside and I was picking up extra work or try to get out of the business. I was the champion. Hulkamania was running wild. I had 20, 30,000 people every night. And now you want me to go sit in a Winnebago on the side of Sony soundstage for 14 hours, and you might call me at 5 o'clock to get in front of the camera for 5 minutes. Process was hard, so I always wanted to go back to wrestling. I did. I kept bouncing back and forth, making small, low-budget movies for kids, and having fun with that and shooting them for 25 to 30 days and then running right back to the wrestling business. I had the chance to become like the next John Wayne. There was a guy named Bob Evans who ran Paramount. He took me into his office, and there was a big picture on the wall with Clint Eastwood and John Wayne and all the big stars like Dustin Hoffman, everybody that was part of the contract players for Paramount. He said, "You're going to be my next John Wayne." Then he laid out the schedule and what was expected of me on and off camera, and I went, "Hey, I'm the wrong guy for that kind of stuff, dude. I just decided to go back to wrestling." Mean Gene. So I said I was going to read a portion. I ended up reading the whole thing. Brother. So
brother.
I thought that was kind of funny, and I mean, maybe it's true. I feel like he could have potentially been that type of star because he was popular. But do you guys feel like that was accurate, or do you think he was kind of embellishing the details with that interaction?
I think Hollywood pitches are pretty out there, so I think I believe it. Like he, especially if you kind of look at like that timeline, like Super Macho's, 80s action.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan was the perfect build for it.
Sylvester Stallone's one of his best friends, or was, or is, I don't know.
He's not dead yet, so I think they still. I mean, I think they're still friends. He started in Rocky 3 as Thunder Lips or Thunder Puss or whatever the hell he was.
Yeah, that was before. That was even before he got big too. That was like between AWA, New Japan, and before he ever went to WWE.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't know that. Oh shit. I mean, I can believe it. Like, I'm sure there's probably some mispoints in his story, but.
If The Rock could skid around for as long as he did before he became an action hero, I believe it out of Hulk Hogan.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was the one that set that standard for wrestling to go outside of wrestling and become movie stars. Really.
I mean, he would be typecasted pretty quick, though. I mean, it's like he would only play one kind of character, and he's got such a specific look to him. Like, how do you even like put him in like anything but like an action comedy or something? Like, that's it. Like, like what else do you do with a guy that's got a skullet and a fucking Fu Manchu and
serious political drama?
Yeah, like a bandana.
Like The Rock or like Dwayne Johnson, at least. Like, okay, he's a muscular dude, but you could see him in like maybe a couple other roles, but the problem with him is his acting chops and like his range for that. So I could only imagine like fucking Hulk Hogan in some kind of like movie, like besides the crap that he came out with, you know what I mean?
He could have been in that NWA film.
Whoa, which NWA are we talking about? That would have been a weird whitewash. No.
Because wasn't that movie a remake of one that happened in the 90s, or was that just a biography for NWA?
The rap group or the promotion?
The rap group, not the promotion.
No, so Boys in the Hood was a 90s movie that had Ice Cube, and there were plans to put the rest of NWA. But then NWA fell out amongst each other. So the only person that made the cut was Cube.
That's what it was. See, that was like peak Hulk Hogan era, so he could have been in.
Could have been in there with Lawrence Fishburne.
Jesus,
that would have been funny. But yeah, I mean, have you guys seen any Hulk Hogan movies besides his cameo in Rocky 3?
Santa with muscles.
Terrible muscles. I've seen like trailers of it. I've seen him in like cameos and that kind of stuff. Like I remember, I think it was in Baywatch, and
yeah, he was.
I think he was in Gremlins too.
Macho Man was in Baywatch too, right?
Probably. I mean, muscly dudes with no shirts on in a beach.
Yeah,
that's
300-pound white boys with do-rags.
Yeah, exactly.
I've sure I've seen others, but the one that always comes to mind is Mr. Nanny. And I remember like as a kid thinking it was good. I mean, I don't remember if it was like if I watched it as an adult. Probably don't want to, but
I mean, if you want a good laugh, next holiday season, watch Santa with Muscles. That shit was trash. But it's so bad it's good kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it so bad it's good like
The Room.
The Room.
Kind
Yeah,
of. But I feel like they're legitimate. I mean, so I guess he was trying to be serious too, Tommy Wiseau. But
Tommy Wiseau was definitely trying to be serious, and then it just kind of turned into parody.
yeah. I mean, sure. I guess it's something like The Room. It's just really bad.
I mean, I'd like to see Hulk Hogan just be in a bunch of more movies, just so I could.
I think that was post steroid
I
trial
put him in a
too,
movie.
because he was like super lean in that movie. He wasn't as like big as he was.
Sand with
So
Muscles, yeah. Because Sand with Muscles was like 96.
oh,
Steroid trial, I think, was like 92.
yeah. So he was already. Was he already in? Yeah, he was in WCW at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. When he during the NWO when he turned on right there, he like right before that he was filming movies left and right.
Yep. He was in a Three Ninjas movie. What the hell?
Oh
Yes, he
yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember now.
Damn. Holy crap. I
When they went to
forgot
Mega
about
Mountain.
That's insane. High Noon at Mega Mountain. What the hell?
Yeah, dude, I remember that now.
I mean,
It made $375,000 at the box office. Now that's 1998 money, which I don't know if that's good even in 1998,
I
but
don't think so.
I don't think so.
Mm.
It received universally negative reviews and is generally considered to be the worst of the four in the series. I believe that.
Oh.
Wasn't Kevin Nash Shredder in
He was Super Shredder. Yeah.
Super
Super
Shredder and Secret
yeah.
of the Ooze, or was it in the first one?
TMNT 2?
Super Shredder was Ooze.
They had
Yeah.
him, and then the actual actors from the Mortal Kombat games were the Ninja Turtles.
Damn. And
Talk
speaking
about a
of-
shitty
speaking of,
cast.
like wrestlers and movies and stuff, do you feel like there was, because you know how there are like 6 Marine movies and John Cena's in a bunch of other things, and The Rock has obviously been kind of the template for wrestlers becoming actors. Are there any favorite wrestler like starring movies that you guys think are actually genuinely good?
The Miz,
starring?
6. No.
I saw one movie with Triple H called The Chaperone, I believe, and I thought it was like okay.
Oh yeah.
He was in Blade 3.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was.
Brought it up
But
like motherfucker. You don't know what movie that is. Yeah, I don't know about that movie. Knucklehead with fucking Big Show.
WWE Studios doesn't exist still, does it? Like, are they still making?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Nah.
Stone Cold
Yeah,
does
but
really good in his cameos.
Shawn Michaels had a movie too, I think,
Oh,
or he was
God.
released like or guest star.
Didn't he hate it?
A porno? Like what movie was he in?
Val Venus?
I don't know. I forgot. I saw a clip of it. He was like fighting some guy on a ship. And, like,
X-Pac had a movie too.
it could have been like, it very well could have been like Marine 4 or Marine 5. I don't know, but
Stone Cold's had a decent career of cameos.
Has
That's
he?
true.
Or like short roles.
Well, he was also in Expendables.
He was in Expendables. He was in The
Yeah.
Longest Yard.
Oh yeah, wasn't
yeah, it was a movie.
wasn't Goldberg in
Nash
that too or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, Goldberg's in it. Great Khali, Kevin Nash.
hmm
In Expendables?
No, The
No,
Longest
the
Yard.
longest yard.
Longest yard.
Oh shit. No, I guess I haven't seen that in a while. I don't remember. But there's also, I guess, the one that always comes to mind for me is See No Evil with Kane, because they kept hammering that May 19th promo on Raw, and he'd keep going crazy every time you brought up May 19th.
Oh yeah.
That was ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, the WWE Studios, I felt like was, I mean, again, like I guess they started with the Marine with John Cena, and that did okay, and then they just kept releasing more Marine movies starring different wrestlers.
I
Ted
think Rusev
DiBiase
was the bad
Jr.
guy in one.
DiBiase Jr. was in one. Was Randy Orton in one? No, I think he was originally supposed
He
to
was
be.
in something.
The Miz was another
The
one.
Miz was in like 2 or 3 of them. I think
Ziggler was in something.
Ziggler probably,
Was
yeah.
it?
He was in the Marine 7.
The Marine 7.
Yeah, didn't he?
Oh my God.
He has a fight scene with Rusev in one of them.
That's funny. Yeah.
Hey, don't forget about Dave Bautista. He's acting.
Dave Batista. You know what? You make a really good point.
Oh, sorry, Batista, the only good one.
Yeah,
My
like
bad.
Yeah.
legitimately.
One that has
The guy has
best
actual
roles,
range.
you know?
The guy has
Well,
actual range.
He's in the MCU. Just completely forgot about that.
He's been a real success story. I mean, The Rock obviously makes a bajillion dollars in the box office, but I think there's something to it that The Rock just kind of plays The Rock. It just like with a different costume in all of his movies, which is fine because his charisma is still like good. So if it's Fast and Furious, if it's Jungle Cruise or whatever the hell it was called, Walking Tall,
Journey to the Center of the Universe or some crap.
Right, or that remember the crappy CGI Scorpion in was it The Mummy 2? Like that shit looked so unbelievable. But I guess it was okay for 2001 or whatever it was.
Fairy with a tooth.
Actually,
Tooth Fairy.
I really like Tooth Fairy. Yeah, I actually like the
Scorpion King had its own spinoff, so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, mostly the Mummy movies.
Yeah, Rocky.
The Mummy movies were good. Minus the third one was okay.
Was all right, and then the one after that, I don't think didn't even have anybody in it. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I think we can end it around here, but I think we are all in agreement that Dave Bautista is probably the best wrestler.
Yeah, sorry forgetting about you, Big Dave.
Yeah, my bad.
But you are the best.
Really good in James Bond. You're really good in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was also in. I don't know. Have you guys watched like the Glass Onion series? The with Daniel Craig as the like the inspector kind of person. He was really good in that too.
He was good in Blade Runner in the sequel or whatever. He was really good in that.
I forgot he was in Blade Runner.
That was like as far as like serious roles, like he played really well in that shit.
And he's in Dune too, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
He does so well, we forget to talk shit about it.
Right.
Exactly.
You only bring up the asshole.
He seems like an actor, right? Like he just kind of blends in with all the good acting because everyone else is kind of like an anomaly. They're like, oh yeah, he's really good.
He's so good. I forgot about him.
So when you mentioned Doom, I actually saw that in theaters as well, and that was pretty rough.
Oh shit, I forgot about Doom. Yeah, with The Rock in Doom.
Didn't The Rock didn't they try to like redo Spy Hunter and he was like the main dude for Spy Hunter and shit?
Did that actually happen or did it cancel?
Or did it get
I don't remember Spy Hunter.
It went straight to DVD.
Next to Steven Seagal.
I do remember hearing about that.
Hobbs and Shaw.
There we go. Steven Seagal.
But yeah.
Actually, do you guys remember when we were talking about this? Do you guys remember when we were talking about
his dance hall?
I called, what was it? Ice Spice. I called her Space Ice. Remember when I did that?
Yeah, you were Space Ice. I was like,
the reason why I did that is because I actually like consistently watch a YouTube channel called Space Ice that does all Steven Seagal movies. And just talks about how amazing he is in the movie, but it's like he's like horribly sarcastic throughout the whole thing. It's hilarious.
I was gonna say, is it like complete irony or like sarcasm?
It's horribly sarcastic, but it's very funny.
You wanna pull on?
So you said it's called Space Ice?
Yeah, that's his shadow. Yeah, that's why I called her the wrong name horribly because I've been watching his movies consistently lately, and I was just like, wait, what?
You've been watching Steven
Seagal?
Add it to my channel.
What was it's actually very fun. What was the one where he's on the boat and he's like a chef? That was like one of his first movies.
Under Siege.
There you go.
Alone?
Yeah, no, Steven Seagal.
That was Seagal.
That was his highest grossing movie. That was like his biggest hit, I guess. Was that
Hell
one.
Yeah.
And it starts off with there's one where he's on a train. And then he's just a passenger on a train, but the movie starts with him in the kitchen for some reason, showing these like really good chefs like how to cook. He's just putting something in a microwave and he's like impressing everyone in the kitchen. And it's just like, wait, what just happened?
Here's some white fish in the microwave for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
stupid. Spy Hunter never happened, but there was a video game.
Under Siege.
It was called?
No, Spy Hunter for Rock.
Oh, yeah, because I remember the Spy Hunter series.
Is that the one with the raccoon, or am I thinking of something else?
Sly Cooper.
No, you're thinking of Sly Cooper.
Oh, Sly Cooper. There you go. There you go.
His cousin.
Yeah.
Can you imagine The Rock as Sly Cooper?
Oh my big ass raccoon.
Yeah. He's just like in a raccoon outfit instead of like being CG.
Big old black eyes.
Fucking eyebrow.
Oh my god. That's really good. But folks, if you guys have any other suggestions for what kind of crazy movies wrestlers should be a part of, shout them out when I clip this for social media.
Dwayne Johnson, Sly Cooper.
That'd be so good. Well, speaking of good, AEW Revolution is next up on our list, our agenda here. AEW Revolution 2024, taking place on March 3rd, which is a week from today as of this recording. So now we're just going to talk about the card, the build-up, what we think about Sting's last match, how you think it's going to happen, what shenanigans are going to happen, what our thoughts are going into Revolution. So let's talk about some of the matches and title matches that are taking place at AEW Revolution. We got the tag team match for the AEW Tag Team Championships between Sting, Darby Allin, and the Young Bucks. And then we have the AEW World Championship. It's a three-way between Samoa Joe, Adam Page, Swerve Strickland. And then we have Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong for the International Championship. You got Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo for the Women's World Championship.
Hell yeah.
Eddie Kingston and one of his 50 belts versus Bryan Danielson for the Continental Crown Championship.
Hell yeah.
You got Christian Cage, which I think is the best heel in AEW right now, versus Daniel Garcia for the TNT Championship. Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs. And did they announce another person yet? I forget.
Lance Archer.
Thank you. And there's the Meat Madness match is how it's being billed, which
I hate that.
It's funny. But I don't know why why are they calling it Meat Madness? Because meat was like a funny
Because they're big,
thing.
meaty men.
No.
But I think Tony Khan should make sure he sends Big E a check.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't ride on that freaking meme train and
blame Chicago All Out last year when it was Rusev and fucking Hobbs, I think.
Yeah.
And last but not least, and I think this is one of the more recent announcements, was Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita, or as Cornette used to say, Takeshita
versus Take a Shit.
Take a shit. Takeshita.
Cornette used to say, Takeshita. Thank you. So where do you guys want to start? Do we want to start with the main event and talk about the tag team match and then just kind of go from there?
Yeah, we'll just go top bottom.
Yeah, let's do top bottom. So we got Sting, you got Darby Allin, and versus the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt, or I guess I should say Nicholas.
There you go, Matthew.
Yeah, so I don't get fined apparently if I mispronounce their names.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think of the buildup? How do you feel the buildup has been in AEW for this match going into Revolution?
I think it's been good. I know there's a lot of people that just generally, because they are the Young Bucks, they just generally hate the fact that this is Sting's opponent or they're Sting's opponent. But I mean, people have to understand that Sting most likely had a hand in like choosing who he was going to face. So I'm guessing this is just more or less what he wanted to do. I think that because it's a tornado tag, right? So it's a tornado tag. So it's going to be fucking crazy. There's going to be crazy spots. It's going to be, Sting's going to break his neck again, most likely, jumping off some shit. But he's going to go out with a bang. He's going to go out guns blazing. So I think the buildup has been good. I like that they were wearing the white suits and they got the blood on them and they're still wearing them. Like, I like that. Ric Flair was missing, but then they did that little backstage thing, so I'm guessing he's going to have some hand in the decision of this match. I'm sure he's going to show up in some capacity. Maybe he's going to be a heel and try to screw over Sting, and then Bucks retain or they win. So I don't know.
Is that to say that like we don't see it? If that does happen, do we see that not being Sting's actual last match? Like they're just setting it up for that, and maybe setting up for something.
I felt like I think that's an interesting thing to play around with, and in terms of the ending of the match, because I feel like just from looking at where it could potentially go, I think that Sting and Darby Allin can retain and then give up the title belts maybe on a Dynamite or something, and just have him have like a feel good. He wins his final match instead of the Young Bucks winning.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would kind of leave a sour taste in people's mouths, even though that's technically the right direction they should be going as EVPs and this kind of new age Vince McMahon style these characters that they're portraying. And I thought that the one thing that I thought was weird is they're EVPs of AEW, but there was this promo, I think, with Darby Allin that was confronting them, and they were like, "Oh, are you making it official?" I'm like, if you guys are EVPs and your heels, I feel like you could make the match. Like, you can say, "We are doing this for the tag titles," because you're the EVPs, right? So I just felt like, from a storyline perspective, the more logical thing would have been for them to just put themselves in the match as and make it a championship match, instead of like waiting for, Darby Allin and Sting to say that it's going to be for the tag titles. And that was my only gripe. But I thought the promo that Sting did, and that's such a crappy thing. First of all, I didn't realize that his dad was still alive, given that Sting is in his 60s.
Right, his dad must have been like
his dad was like 90 or 100. I don't know what it was, but that was a very emotional promo, because I was like watching a bunch of clips for the past couple of days, just kind of catching up and just trying to see what the lay of the land was. And they did a really good job. And Darby Allin's a really good like promo guy. He doesn't sound like, and I think you guys know what like a standard, like when a person who isn't the best at like emoting, like there's a lot of like there are these mannerisms that just seem like they're a common thing when wrestlers are doing promos, but there are guys like, and I can maybe name them on like one hand, like CM Punk is a very like they just talk naturally. It doesn't sound like they have conviction. Darby Allin just has a really good way of doing promo. He just talks like he's a normal person, and not like it's, amateur hour at a local theater,
Whoa.
So I think that was really good. And that me, as a person who isn't as invested in AEW as you guys on this podcast, I thought was really good, and it made me get invested in this match and wanting to see Revolution. And I'll talk about Toni Storm too, because I've been watching her clips too and her segments like that. The stuff that she's been doing has been really genius in terms of like the vignettes. And I don't know how much creative input she has in creating these vignettes and the production, which I think is really good. But I just question sometimes just the logic of like when they use the gray filter and when they don't use the gray filter. Because sometimes it's like, okay, we're going to do this shot and then it's going to be color and then gray. And she gets introduced with a gray filter, and then other times they just remove it and then she's just in color. So I don't know what the logic is for that. But going back to this Darby Allin or this tag team match with Sting's final match, where is Ric Flair going to be involved in this? Where do you guys think he's going to be? Do you think they're going to be like, he's going to be like, oh yeah, I'm part of this too now, I'm going to be also in the match, or do some kind of weird like save at the last second, like I don't know, do a figure four, get a chair or something?
It's going to be a low blow. Like if he's going to do something, it's going to be a low blow. I already know it.
Sometimes the turnbuckle try to jump off and they'll just grab him as they always do and just throw him. They'll take a huge
like
bump.
2 deaths in this freaking match, because this thing's going to go crazy. But Ric Flair, man, like that guy, and God love him, honestly. Like I can't say that. The guy should like just stop doing stuff, because like if you have the passion, the energy for it, like I feel like if I was in his position, I wouldn't like curl up and die in a nursing home either. Like I'd like to be active, and I think I'd be smarter and just want to be involved in wrestling, just in a non-wrestling capacity. But yeah, I feel like he might get physical
I mean, he
After I watched-
said, yeah, go ahead.
It's 30 for 30, and like it made me understand a lot more about like why he can't let go of the ring.
Mhm.
Yep. I mean, he said himself, I was going to say just a segue off of that, which is good. And he said, I'm going to die in this ring. So fuck it.
I just don't know when.
Right.
That's crazy.
I mean, fuck.
Yeah, I
whatever.
I definitely see him getting involved in the match, like taking a bump or, like a low blow would be definitely his old fashioned style doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get a nice strut maybe once or twice, I'm sure. But like I definitely see him getting involved. He's not just gonna be managing and just standing there the whole time. Definitely not.
I think
Especially
he's gonna.
for Sting's last match.
Yeah, I think he's gonna screw him over. I think he's gonna do like a face off with Sting in the ring, and then he's gonna like kick him in the nuts, and then the Bucks take. I think that's what's gonna, and I think that's what should happen because then you want the Bucks to be fucking hated like nuclear heat. You know what I mean? I think that's what.
Yeah,
should happen.
but then there's no closure for Sting because then it's like, well, I mean, he just got screwed over, so I feel like you gotta continue.
Better than being buckle bombed for your last.
That's true.
I think maybe they could do it tastefully. I think maybe he could still have like a curtain closer. Like, sure, he loses the match, but it's like, it was
Darby
a fight.
takes the pin.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Darby takes the pin. I mean, it could go a bunch of ways, but I think for the sake of, like, since it is his retirement and they just so happen to have those belts, I guess, like, if they didn't have the belts, it would have made more sense, but, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that's why it's so interesting because you don't really know what's going to happen with this shit because it's like, it could go either way. And then Ric Flair's that dark horse is just going to pop up and who knows where the fuck that's going to go. So it should be interesting.
Let's go round table and let's just predict what's going to happen at the end of this match, what the result is. So I say that if because they book it as the last match, and I do think Tony Khan wants to give it a proper send off, I feel like they are going to retain, and then he's just gonna retire the belts on Dynamite or whatever show, or even at the end of the match. He just hands him over to Tony Khan or something, I think that's what's going to happen. Chris, what do you think?
I mean, I'm going to stick to my guns. I think he's going to lose them. I mean, I think the Bucks are going to take them and it's going to just generate a lot of heat for them in the future. So I think that's where it's going to go.
That's fair. What about you, David?
I'm right there with Chris. I think the Bucks will find a way to win. I think they will go the nuclear way. I think they'll end up probably like super kicking Ric Flair as well. I feel like what's minus Kenny, of course. I think the rest of the elite are going to go the superhero route pretty soon.
Oh man, wait, is he still recovering from his like fucking?
Yeah, I feel like
he's been gone for a while.
He got. Oh, Kenny? Yeah, Kenny's going to be gone for a while. I thought you were talking about Flair. I'm like, no, Flair got cleared to take bumps.
I was going to say Kenny, though. Like, maybe he'd make, like, a surprise appearance or some shit.
You're like, no, guys, stop.
But no, that would ruin the Sting thing, so that wouldn't happen. Yeah.
What about you, Andres?
Yeah, I can see Sting losing and then, dropping the titles but no matter what, he's still going to have his moment in the ring. He's still going to be celebrated. That's the main thing that's going to happen, no matter what, win or lose. But I can definitely see him, like the Bucks, losing in a very bad fashion. Yeah, building really good heat. So going forward, it's like okay, and then I definitely do think like it's his last match for sure. But like I could maybe Sting would still be around for like appearances here and there. I can see him still doing that. But yeah, for sure he's gonna. No matter what, win or lose, he's gonna be celebrated regardless. But I do see him losing. Because if he does win, then he'll relinquish the belts regardless.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to.
That's true. But again, I feel like this is wrestling, and I feel like with wrestlers in retirement matches, I mean, it's like the Rolling Stones. They've had like 50, farewell tours.
That too. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
The McRib.
Like, you could definitely.
Sting is similar. I mean, Sting is like, or like the McRib, like you brought up. Let's just have that as like the thumbnail for this podcast.
You've been McRibbed.
It's a McRib with Sting's face on it. That's going to be the thumbnail.
Boom. Same with Ric Flair. Ric Flair's the fucking McRib, and then
you can be on the other side of the McRib.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to think it's Sting's last match. I mean, like even like Shawn Michaels, right? Like I thought he was actually going to stay retired, and then he had that, here's $1 bajillion from Saudi Arabia. Let's have this terrible match.
He did say so. He's seen that check.
Yeah, money talks, and never say never. Literally, like there's nobody that I've never seen like come back or whatever it is. I feel like in wrestling, retirement is more or less kind of a joke, but we'll see. We'll see about it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sting had one more thing after this.
Even Mick Foley's thinking about coming back for one more.
I mean, Mick Foley, that's another guy. He's like Cher or the Rolling Stones. They got like another farewell tour. Yeah, it is what it is. But I think going into it, treating it as this is his last match, I think it's going to be a really, really good one.
Barn burner, baby.
Barn burner. Do you think it's going to be the main event?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it will.
I mean, like that. They feel like they've been billing it as just the Sting pay-per-view, basically. The next one is the AEW World Championship. This is between Samoa Joe, Adam Page, and Swerve Strickland. I also saw their promos on this too. Samoa Joe, man, I feel like he just deserves to retain the title. He's also another one who's really good on the mic. He's just like a no frills. He isn't the kind of people who sounds like amateur hour at a theater. He just sounds like a guy who like wants to kick the other guy's ass, and it just sounds natural coming from him. Swerve Strickland is popular, but I don't know if they would get the strap off Joe this soon because he just got it at World's End. So what do you guys think about the results for this one? Where do you think it's going?
I think Joe retaining. Yeah, retaining. But I think Swerve is definitely going to stay in the main event picture going forward, and then his time will come for sure.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I was writing down notes earlier, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I think Swerve might pick it up. To be honest, I feel like, because they want to capitalize on his popularity, they might give him a run and see where it goes, perhaps. But Adam Page, he's the other guy in this match, who was already champion, but Adam Page and Swerve have had their nice little feud, so I think Swerve is gonna pick it up. I think, but you never know.
Do you feel like the popularity of Swerve is going up? Do you feel like it's leveled out? How do you feel the audience, and I mean even yourselves, how do you feel Swerve is being portrayed right now as the top guy?
I think they could do better.
You might be right. Like just kind of thinking about it again, like I feel like he's on the cusp of it. Maybe now isn't like the appropriate time, because I think he just needs to have that extra thing. Like he had the Texas Death Match, which was fucking crazy. But yeah, I think maybe he needs a little bit more time in the oven, as far as like his popularity. So I guess I'll change my mind. Actually, I'll probably say Samoa Joe retains. Yeah.
Hangman eats the pin.
Yeah, I think Hangman should eat it. I feel like I'm hot and cold with Hangman Adam Page when it comes to his character.
Yeah, for me, I can't really get too attached to Hangman because it's just like the Punk stuff, all the Elite stuff. To me, he's just he's like it's like the member of every band that you don't remember.
Nice.
He's good because he's in the band, but
he's the bassist.
You put him against Kenny, it's like Kenny should be kicking his ass.
I also feel like he just needs, at least when it comes to backstage antics and stuff, I feel like there's some maturity that he still has to go through. I feel like his perspective is still too, I don't know, childish.
But yeah, he's like all that melodrama and shit. It's like, how are you a cowboy and you're over here fighting depression, being a millennial, and all that funny shit that he always says that he allegedly deals with. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't like. For me, it's like it doesn't make me want to relate to anything. Where like Swerve, he's cool. He's going, he's showing up at sporting events. He's doing all that other stuff. Samoa Joe is self-explanatory. It's like, to me, Hangman lacks an aura.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like with Swerve
Yeah.
and Samoa Joe, I mean, Samoa Joe's a little more in your face, but with Swerve, it feels like he's the kind of guy. It's like you have it, so you're not just kind of being like that little chihuahua that's trying to be super loud and like I'm tough as hell. And
He's
I
kind
feel
of got like that LA Knight where
Yeah.
he's just kind of just sitting around, but it's probably for the better.
right. It's like speaking softly and carrying a big stick. Like that you're the shit, but you give off the energy of like you are, but you're not like overcompensating or anything.
Yeah.
Like you're good.
Yeah.
And I think good champions have that quality in them.
And then Logan Paul does all of Hangman's moves better than Hangman.
Yes. I mean, that's another one. Like we'll get to Logan Paul later, but man,
Sorry, Hangman.
I don't know. Logan Paul, man, like this guy is like, I mean, I feel like initially I was hesitant, but he is like a natural when it comes to just being a wrestler and a heel. Like he just understands his role. But yeah, let's AEW World Championship. I think we're all kind of on the page of Samoa Joe retaining. Yeah.
We're not on the page, actually.
Well, we're not on Adam Page.
On the
but-
actual page, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go to the other championship matches and matches that we have. We got Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong for the International Championship. So Roderick Strong is part of the Undisputed Kingdom, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He feels like a second fiddle when it comes to like it felt like maybe I'm looking at it this way, but it feels like other people are talking kind of like for him, and then he's in this match. Like he doesn't, for me, feel like I don't know a main event guy or like in that kind of championship caliber. You know what I mean? At least based on the promo that I saw, it felt like people were talking for him. He seems like a background character.
He's kind of put himself in a funny spot with that
Yeah.
and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because like he's a goofball, but like he is a really good wrestler.
I think this is the reset here. I think honestly, I was writing stuff down and I essentially said that he needs this win. He needs to take
Kick his ass, Roddy.
Yeah, like he needs the belt off of him because Orange Cassidy already had this fucking belt since its inception. So like fucking
boring.
drop
I thought
that
he
shit.
lost it, didn't he?
Well, he did, but then he retained it like immediately because of injury, because Moxley got injured or some shit, and now
His Mox got dropped on his head.
so he's been having it ever since. So I mean,
Fucking plumber.
definitely, right, Plumber Moxley. Nah, but yeah, I think he needs this win for sure, and just to make, because if you're gonna do the Undisputed Kingdom thing and you're trying to make them a big deal on some level, you're gonna need like some belts, some gold. You need to start swinging your dick around or whatever. So like he needs this belt, to be honest. And
That's my next question. What do you guys think of the Undisputed Kingdom as a faction and what they've been doing?
I think it's mild right now. I think there's a lot of potentials. That's why
Mid?
Yeah, mid. Yeah, the mid kingdom maybe. But I think it just needs more time. It just needs better direction. Like it could be potentially good because of the whole devil shit. Like if you're already made your bed, then you sleep in it and make sense of it. So
I think they should have been winning.
It doesn't help that
Before.
Adam Cole also still injured, so it's like you have your lead guy, but he's just kind of injured.
Yeah, their foundation kind of sucked because it's just like it all happened at once. It's like they won the ROH tag titles, they didn't unmask, and then by the end of that pay-per-view, we were finding out who the devil was when it's like Mike Bennett and the other Matt Taven have been the tag team forever. They could have been winning. Roddy could have been winning instead of walking around with a neck brace yelling at him.
right.
Like Roderick Strong anywhere else was like just this badass dude that could that could out wrestle anybody. And then they kind of made him into this joke character because Joe put him in a muscle buster and fucked up his neck. And it's like we've heard that story before.
Yeah.
And I like all those skits and vignettes were cool where it's like they're all visiting Adam and stuff, but it's like it was like some real teenage shit.
Mm-hmm.
Overstayed its welcome. Like
Yeah.
it was like, okay, we get it. Like it was still going on for a little too long.
Like, because Tony Khan claps like this when he hears Roderick Strong yell at him.
Seal.
It's like, oh my God. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah.
I think there was, I guess that this is another question I want to ask, and I didn't know where to insert this because now that we're on the topic of factions, well, what do you think of like the Bang Bang Scissor Gang thing? Because this feels to me,
Get rid of them.
that was what I'm trying to, that was what I'm saying, because I felt like, because I just started watching like a bunch of clips, promos, and like all that kind of stuff about like how this came together. You got Bullet Club Gold, and then you got the Acclaimed. And then why are they together exactly? Like, why do they put them together? And
Because the Kingdom beat them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a commonality, I guess.
And
They
a
didn't know
lot
what
of people are
they
saying that
were.
it seems obvious that they're going to turn on each other and feud with each other.
They needed to
Oh,
sell some
yeah.
shirts. But can you imagine just being in public and wearing a Bang Bang Scissor Gang shirt? Can you imagine just walking around the grocery store with that shit on? I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
I can explain.
I mean, that Val Venus shirt, David, that you shared, like, can you imagine wearing that at a grocery
Locked and
store?
ready to unload. I'm looking on eBay to find one.
Man, it's got the font of jizz, and then you're just like going to pick up, some apples and a frozen pizza.
That's gonna be my permanent gym shirt.
Yeah.
Cut the sleeves
Did you find it or no?
Yeah, did you find the shirt? Did you find that Val Venus shirt? Yeah,
Not at a reasonable price.
Probably like $100.
Yeah.
because they're not reprinting that one on WWEshop.com.
Do it for the meme. Spend the money for the meme.
Just wear that in gray sweats every time. Or some Hoochie Daddies. Some Hoochie Daddy shorts.
Hell yeah.
Can't even do my ab workout because my shit's gonna fall out.
Yeah, I feel like they just brought them together to sell some shirts. But again, who's buying the fucking shirt is what I'm saying.
Do you think it's gonna last long?
It seems like the crowd really likes them though.
Yeah.
I'm ready
like-
for it to be over.
Do you feel like the Scissor Gang's gonna end soon, or do you feel like they're gonna keep milking this thing?
It should end.
And poor Jay White, man, I feel like
That's exactly why it should end.
Yeah.
I feel like he
Jay White's
doesn't.
time.
He doesn't seem like he doesn't. The aura doesn't fit the.
Like he's not a funny guy. Like he's
He's not a funny guy. Like what are you doing? Why are you putting
He's
him in
New Japan's only Grand Slam champion, and he's over here fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, right. Straight up. That's funny.
Like that doesn't make any sense. But then that's the other thing. Like you got guys like Will Ospreay and all these guys, Okada. Like like if they see this, are they like, yeah, I want to go here because they might throw me into like the fucking Scissor Gang with 100 belts on the roster. But I don't know. I think just for me, like just looking at it, I feel like they have to just split them up. And my critique of too many belts still stands. I feel like there are way too many belts, and don't have Ring of Honor belts be in AEW because again, it just dilutes everything. And I don't give a shit what your championship you're fighting for if you have like 10 other ones,
Right.
So, okay, let's go to Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. Now, Toni Storm, I was saying earlier, she is having the ride of her life and the best in her career right now. I think she's doing really well. Deonna Purrazzo, like I didn't know too much about her before I started doing more research, and I really enjoy the Hey AEW interviews because you're allowed to see different sides of these people, and they ask them questions, but it's just good to see them interact in a more long form interview, even if it's like funny. And Deonna Purrazzo comes across as really likable, and I thought she seems like a good person for Toni Storm, who I think will retain and then feud with Mercedes when she comes. I think that'll be a really good feud if that happens. I saw the match that Deonna Purrazzo had on Dynamite versus that's not Mariah May. Geez, I forgot her name. But it
Thanks,
wasn't
Tony. That's how good you're doing.
it
Red
was,
Velvet?
yeah.
No.
No, it wasn't Red Velvet. It was like a really bad match on Dynamite.
Yeah, the girl got dropped on her freaking noggin.
Yeah, she got dropped in her dome, but apparently she was also like a trainer too. Like that's pretty crazy. I don't know what was happening there because she was not selling anything and she seemed very gassed.
Purrazzo or the
No, not Deonna Purrazzo. Madison Rain, that's who it was, I think. Yeah, she didn't do well. She was like gassed and like she was basically like half selling it, and then yeah, when she did the DDT, she like dropped on her dome, and it did not look good.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess people have bad days. But what do you guys think about the Toni Storm Deonna Purrazzo championship match? Do you feel like Toni Storm is going to retain? Where does Deonna go from here?
I think Deonna picks it up, and I think Mercedes comes in as a heel. I think that's where that goes. I mean, she won't come off as a heel, I think, first, Mercedes, but I think I could see that happening. But like, if you're going to bring in Deonna Purrazzo, make it a big deal, then put the belt on her. Because I think Tony's had it for a minute.
And a couple times.
For a little bit, but it's not that long because this character started last year, right?
I mean, it's a pretty long time. I mean, not everybody has to be Roman Reigns, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. But I feel like there's a lot you can do with her character still.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's going to retain. And I feel like Mercedes is going to come back as a face because you can't have this like comeback and then just be a heel. I mean, I guess you could.
Well, she could be like the pompous, like, I'm better than you, I make a lot of money shit. Like she could definitely go that route. You know what I mean? And people could still be behind it, like, and look at any heel that does their thing. But I think she can be that, like, my shit don't stink kind of a person.
Well, I guess in terms of main event caliber heels in AEW for the women's side, do you feel like, how many are there besides Toni Storm? Who else do you feel like can fit that?
Mariah May, then they're babying fucking, what's her name? Saraya. So, and then, I mean, Saraya and, what's her fucking name? Ruby Soho. Yeah. I mean, she like slapped her or something. So I don't know where that's going, but yeah, not too many heels.
Yeah, they kind of just really all revolved. A lot of it, or all of it really, for the first 2 years, really revolved around just Britt Baker being a heel with Jamie Hayter and Rebel around her.
Right.
And anybody else that came up was just, a super face, like anybody that beat, like it was just a long heel reign.
You felt like it overstayed its welcome?
Yeah.
I mean,
Toni Storm has been champion only for 95 days. She got her title in November, so I don't think that's that long at all.
Was it third reign? Second reign? It's either a second or third.
She's a 3-time AEW Women's Champion.
I see her retaining though too. Like I kind of agree with you, Marson. Like Mercedes showing up, being a heel though. Well, Tony's what? Tony's the heel now, right?
Yeah.
Toni Storm is a heel. Yeah, really entertaining too.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a little bit of her promos. I do like it. Especially, I do like the little touch too that you were mentioning that they like for the promotional posters. They always they put the black and white filter over her too, and
they like give her red lipstick. I'm like, just
yeah. I do like that actually. At first, I wasn't into it, to be honest. At first, I wasn't a big fan of it.
I just wasn't sure where it was going, but I feel like it just gets more unhinged, and I like that. I like her vignettes that she's done.
The black and white when you turn heel was actually done by Sandman first.
Really?
Yeah. When he first turned heel, his matches until he started drinking beer and smoking cigs on the way to the ring.
Not NWO.
They're done in black and white.
NWO black and white.
Nope.
That's why in those like creator entrance, I mean, they had the black and white filter over that. Somebody had to do it.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, I think Toni Storm's going to retain, and I think she's going to start a feud with Mercedes, just because it feels like you need. But I guess the other thing is like Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa. I don't know where all these other women are going to be involved. Are they involved in this title picture? Do they get thrown into another feud? I don't know. Because
TBS
Thunder Rosa, I feel
championship.
like needs something too.
She just started throwing up the nation.
Yeah, she did. I feel like people were just reading too much into it, but
Well, that's LFI too. That's Rush's little thing.
Oh yeah, true.
I like people reading into The Rock with the L, and they thought he was joining the Bang Bang Scissors gang.
He is.
Guns up. 2 words for you.
That's their Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
What happened to the one Japanese female wrestler? She's been off TV for a while now, right? Hinata?
Riho, Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, that one.
Hikaru
We know,
Shida.
yeah.
Oh, Shida was a good face when when AEW's women's division started. So I take that back. There was one good face.
I feel like Hikaru Shida. So Riho was the first ever women's champion for AEW.
And Riho,
right?
yeah.
Hikaru Shida she's had 1,
She's had 3.
2, 3. Yeah, she's had 3 title reigns.
Her last one was really short, though. I think it was like not even a month, maybe.
Saraya only had it for 44, but Hikaru actually did have it shorter. She had it for 25 days, which is pretty. But I think her first one, she actually had it for a year and some change. And maybe that's because of the pandemic and all that stuff. So they were just like, let's let you have it. And then Britt Baker basically had the second longest reign so far. Yeah, Hikaru has the longest, and then Britt Baker had it from 2021 May to 2022 March 16th. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with them. So it's been about a month and some change. Well, I guess it's been about a month with the rankings. Do you guys feel like it's making sense where they're going with these rankings, like how they determine these matches, or do you feel like it's still?
I think it's fallen off already.
Yeah, I feel like it's fallen off.
Yeah.
Just based on looking at like, okay, so this is how many wins, but what counts? Like, do TV like Rampage? I mean, I guess Rampage, Collision, and Dynamite matches count. Yeah, I don't know. It for me, it's still confusing.
I think when they initially made the announcement, you had the announcers making some effort of like, oh, if he wins this, it's gonna mean this, and that. But
it means plus 400. If he wins this, it's plus 100. It's like Tekken.
Right, exactly. Frame data.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like rank points.
I haven't really seen too much of that. That is interesting, though. Kind of like, so it's like what, like the actual game now? They put their stats of like ratings and stuff, and like
yeah. Well,
overall like numbers.
Win-loss record specifically, like that's what they were trying to focus on. I think it still needs more time. I think it's still too early to see where it's truly going, like the macro picture. I think you need to get to at least like all in, all out, see if this shit even worked or not to make sense of it. I think again, it's still like the turning point. So they got their new writer, they're doing Revolution and all these things. So we'll see. I think it's too early to tell.
Fair. So let's go. Let's keep going down the list here. Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson for the Continental Crown Championship. So the Continental Crown Championship, if we're trying to like rank this title, like where does this thing land? Is it like a mid-tier title? Is it like an intercontinental, like their international championship? I don't know where.
I feel kind of weird, but I think they're pushing it to be like the old Intercontinental title.
I still feel like there's like this is just like another, like you don't need this many belts. Like why do you need this one? You have a TNT championship, you have an international championship. You know, I just feel like that's too many.
Well,
right? What do you guys? Well, what do you guys think about this match?
I think Bryan needs some gold.
Has he had gold?
No, I don't think he should be Eddie Kingston for it though.
No,
why not?
He talks too much. Like, I feel like a lot of his Eddie Kingston slander has a little too much weight for Kingston to go out there and lose.
I haven't heard his promo recently.
Oh, he's always calling him a bum.
Oh, okay.
And all that, like,
So if he loses, he's indeed a bum.
Yeah, like I get it, Eddie. You don't mind being the king of the bums, but you're not a bum, dog.
Right.
King of the line cooks.
I just want to see Brian with a belt. That's all. That's my personal bias.
Yeah.
Still rocking the eye patch? I didn't see that. Actually.
No, he's not.
No, probably.
But I think it'll be a good match. But yes, I'd like to see Brian getting a belt. But again, it just, for me, it just boils down to too many belts. I don't care if he wins.
There you go. He should get a Ring of Honor belt.
Yeah, exactly. But then he's still appearing on AEW with Ring of Honor again. Too many. Too many. Okay. This one, I think we can talk a little bit more about Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia for the TNT Championship. So from the clips and things that I've seen, so Daniel Garcia faced Edge. Or Adam Copeland, geez, sorry, slipped the tongue. Copium. He lost, or did he just get jumped by Christian Cage and that family, and then basically lost by default? Is he actually injured, by the way? They were saying he's on the shelf. Is that a work?
Seen. I think I made a prediction of he was gonna do some kind of a surprise during the match and low blow Christian or something and cost him the match, or cost him the belt like he cost Edge the match. Edge, fucking Adam.
Hey, if you're called Edge for like 20 years, it's hard to get rid of it. Yeah, but this is really good. Honestly, like I feel like Christian Cage needs the AEW World Title, because I feel like from what I'm seeing, he's like the best thing going in AEW still. Like, some people might think it's a little tiring with him talking about like people's dads and dying, like that's a shtick. And he was like in his promo talking about like,
your alcoholic father.
Yeah, he's like, I know your dad. Is he at this address or whatever? And it was a graveyard. They have him looked up on Twitter. It was like the plot for like where his dad was buried, basically. So, that's crazy. I think for me, it does get a little complicated too with like all these other people that he's kind of involving. Like, why is Luchasaurus or whatever he's called, Dino Man, or
Kill Switch?
Yeah, why is he with Christian Cage? I mean, and then he's got like this wife with like this 18-year-old kid now. That's, I guess, like that's the father figure. So I guess child, mother. Yeah, I'm assuming that's where which is kind of funny.
And the beast. They got a beast, a mindless beast.
Their pet dinosaur.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why that thing sticks out to me for like a sore thumb personally, but I guess it's kind of funny just seeing them all stand together in the ring. But yeah, Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia. I feel like Daniel Garcia, he's okay, but I feel like all he's got is that hip thrust thing going for him. Like, I'm not intrigued by him as a person when it comes to like his promos and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how you guys feel about
that. That was a good promo. I think he's finding his like groove with this whole thing, and I think Christian really like elevated him saying those things before he shit on him, because he like said he's a good wrestler, blah 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 blah. That was a good reaction. He had good emotion when he was doing his side of the promo. So I think and him being one of those AEW originals, right? I think he's doing well. I think this is his turning point. So a win with that belt would do him pretty good.
Do you feel like we are going to get a rematch between Christian and Adam for the title again? Or do you feel like it's going to go in a different direction?
I think it's going to be without
it? Because maybe Dan Garcia wins the belt, and like you said, Adam Copeland shows up, interferes, costs him the title, and then Garcia can go on to feud with somebody else, and then Adam Copeland and Christian can be doing something in a non-title capacity. Because to be fair, neither of them really need the title. They are who they are. Like, they are respected. Everyone knows who Christian and Edge are and were. So
ENC?
Yeah, ENC, exactly. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But I'm looking forward to that one too, personally. All right, let's jump back into the next match. Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus, I just forgot the guy's name, Archer.
Lance Archer.
Lance Archer, thank you. In the Meat Madness match.
Lance
Now, we
Archer.
talked a little bit about the term Meat Madness, which I think is a term that belongs to Big E, and Tony Khan should probably send him a check for that. But what do you guys think about this setup between these three guys? Does this feel? Are you guys excited by this match? Do you feel like there's any buildup or reason for this triple threat to happen, or do you feel like it's kind of like a card filler?
It's definitely a card filler, I would imagine.
But it's a very entertaining card filler because
That's true.
Right. I mean,
all that slapping of meat.
yeah, Lance Archer. I mean, he can fly, that big fucking guy.
He's a big dude.
I mean, it's kind of like when they kept doing like Ivar versus various members of the Academy. I don't know why.
Alpha Academy.
Thank you. Like they kept doing that. That shit was still entertaining, you know, and they could put on a good match. So I feel like it doesn't have to all be, you know, you can always have a match like that to just kind of hype up the crowd, and I think it's really good.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna
did
be
you
the
guys-
meme one.
Did you guys see Wardlow's promo from the past week or so? I think it was
Yeah.
the past week. What
Uh-huh.
did you guys think about his promo?
I think that was the best work he's done as a professional wrestler.
Right. And it's also crazy he never got a championship opportunity. Is that true?
He was a TNT champ.
Yeah, he was
I
TNT
thought.
championship. Mm-hmm.
Or for the main belt, I guess. I don't think he ever got an opportunity.
Did he get hurt? Like, why did he stop showing up?
Yeah, I think he got hurt. It was like a shoulder thing or something like that.
Too many whisper in the winds.
Yeah.
I feel like if anything was going to happen out of that faction, Undisputed Kingdom or whatever they call themselves, I think that Wardlow seems like the guy who would like turn on the group, because he feels like a pushover to me. Like he's got the muscles and he does the stuff, but I'm also getting a similar vibe to like how Christian Cage kind of treated Luchasaurus or Kill Switch, whatever he's called right now, where he's like the big tough guy doing all the damage, getting the belts, and then getting none of the credit really or acknowledgement from their tribal chiefs, their leaders of their faction. So I feel like that's kind of where that storyline is headed. But again, good card filler match. This should be entertaining. And then they announced Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita.
There you go.
Thank you. Whereas Jim Cornette used to say, "Take a shitta." But what do you guys think about this Will Ospreay Konosuke Takeshita match?
I mean, it should be a good match overall.
Yeah.
You know, it should be a
It'd be
really
a
good
The
good
match.
fanboys are saying it's going to be the match of the night, and it might be from pure wrestling skill. I think it will be, but yeah, is this going to be Will Ospreay's first match officially under like AEW as part of the roster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to lose. You guys think they'd make him lose on his first match?
I don't
Maybe
think so.
screwy.
Yeah, maybe like a screwy, not a clean pin kind of a thing. Takeshita's really good too. I think he's got a lot of talent.
That's true. And how do you feel like they've done with him in terms of
I think
build?
they built him up to be this kind of like bruiser kind of a dude for sure. Like he's this kind of like cerebral assassin, for lack of a better word. But yeah,
I like to get it.
yeah, take shit. I think I think he needs to break away from Don Callis. I think it's about time for that to happen. So
Yeah, he's not a good oddity.
yeah,
Do you feel like this Don Callis group is going to last any longer?
probably not.
Or do you feel like it's going to keep going?
I think it needs to go.
I mean, I think
Seems
Don
like
Callis
they're
can be
in
in some
the-
different like
Was
role.
it Will Ospreay part of the Don Callis family last time he was in AEW?
Ocean spray?
I think he
I
was
think you're
actually.
right.
And so, like, there goes my head-scratching booking decision.
Yeah.
Is he oddity or is he not?
He's an oddity. He's an oddity. But I think this match is going to be really good. I don't know if it'll open. I think it'll be somewhere in the middle of the card. But this definitely will be good. So I think that's the end of the AEW Revolution conversation. So it takes place on March 3rd at Greensboro, North Carolina, which I think was also Sting's first match in that arena. I think that's why they picked this one as his last.
It's a big WCW NWA
territory.
Yeah.
So that should be really good. I guess, Chris, you're hosting Revolution. We could be doing some live reacts.
Hell yeah.
Should be fun.
Sunday, not Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's a Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. Get some crispy burnt Pizza Hut again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Nice and cold, lukewarm.
It wasn't even like
I chipped
it
my
wasn't even
tooth.
lukewarm, really. It was like they let it sit out for like a day, and then they just
And then the driver
chipped it
came.
up. They let it sit out for a day, and then threw it in the oven, and then let it sit out for another day, and then they delivered it to us.
Yep.
But next time, if we do Pizza Hut, because I have those nostalgia goggles on with like Pizza Hut and just like enjoying the taste of Pizza Hut. And when I got it, I was like, my childhood is ruined. What is this piece of cardboard?
You're like, Pizza what?
I think the issue, at least for us, was we also picked like their non-traditional pizza. Like I picked like they don't do thin crust. Like their traditional is like pan pizza stuff. So I think if we do end up ordering Pizza Hut again, we should just stick with what they are normally good with. So.
Old Faithful.
Good old faithful. So let's wrap up AEW Revolution. Let's jump into the Elimination Chamber, which just took place, and it was pretty much what we expected in terms of the results of the matches. The best Elimination Chamber that I thought was the women's. Tiffany Stratton, man, she was really, really good, and I don't watch a lot of NXT, but watching her on SmackDown and watching her in this match, she is really good. Like, she's not just some pretty blondes who, they just threw together and have her attempt to wrestle. Like, she's got it. I'll say she's got an X factor.
Tiffy time. She did the watch check too. It's gonna be a CM Punk fucking match.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's gonna be like, they're gonna like try and involve clobbering time in it somehow.
Clobbering time or Tiffy time.
Right.
Exactly. It's going to be like the battle of the slogans. But Australia was really into Tiffany Stratton in that match. And
I'm sure.
I'll give credit to Liv Morgan when she pinned her, because they were booing the shit out of her when Tiffany Stratton got pinned. But she was like, yeah, I pinned her ass. So good on her to go a little bit heelish. But like, if the crowd are reacting like that, I would do the same thing. But she did that crazy swanton dive off the top of the pod, which was really cool. And I think there was, after the match, Raquel Rodriguez, and I think Triple H said Gonzalez during the press conference for whatever
that was
reason.
That was her NXT name.
I think it's her actual name too.
Probably.
Yeah, she actually had like an infection or something, because I was like, oh, she's coming in with like no makeup or whatever, but she had like an infection on like her skin. It was like super red. So good on her to just kind of, I guess, trudge through, but she also did really well. But with the women's Elimination Chamber match, we got what we expected, which was Becky Lynch winning, and she will face the winner of the women's championship match, which took place at the main event of the Australia show.
Aussie.
Yeah, Aussie. They were also really good. And apparently, and again, this is an issue with stadiums and the way that they are built. When there are ones without a ceiling, it doesn't sound like they were still super loud, but I felt like it didn't capture what everyone else in that stadium heard in person through the television. And a lot of people are saying like it was super loud for Rhea Ripley and for all these matches. But I think it's just the acoustics being an open air stadium. All that sound just kind of goes out, So it sucks, but they're obviously going to stick to stadiums because you make a lot of money and people will It had like 52,000. I mean, it's a B pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania, and you sold over 52,000 tickets in Australia. That's pretty great, I gotta say.
Without The Rock.
Without The Rock, exactly. And they were chanting "Rocky sucks" during the segment with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. So they definitely did the right decision making The Rock heel. I thought that was really good. So what did you guys? I know some of you caught glimpses of it. Did you guys have any additional thoughts on the women's elimination chamber match? Do you think Becky Lynch is the right person to go to WrestleMania to fight for the title? Or did you want someone else from that chamber to win?
I think it should have been Liv, but whatever.
Yeah, like Liv kind of got written off because of Rhea Ripley, so I thought they would go that route. But then, like, I think Becky Lynch is getting closer to the end than we realize.
In terms of her career?
As in terms of being a full timer.
Yeah, I agree. And Roman Reigns has been doing that for like what, 2-3 years? Yeah. which is
hey,
crazy.
He was there in the Thunderdome. When it was Thunderdome time, he was there.
He was there. I mean, I feel like for me, again, this is how fast time flies. Because I still treat him as like a newer person, but he's been around for over a decade plus.
Think about how many Manias we've watched him in now.
Exactly. That's the other crazy. How many Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns main events?
I know.
Jesus Christ. Like, I feel like all the WrestleMania, like 30 and up, like all those seem like a blur to me. Like I remember 31, and then all the other ones kind of blend together for me until 38. So, but I think Becky Lynch was the right person to win. And I do think when it comes to the men's WrestleMania match with Seth Rollins and then her, I don't think Becky Lynch is going to win. And I also think Seth Rollins is going to lose. And they might take some time off to recover, spend time with their kids. And I think well-deserved, because Seth Rollins nursing an injury and getting cleared in like a week or so, he said. You can do your match, but I think you still need more time to recover and just work on it. You shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff personally, but good on him for doing that. And it was a really good women's elimination chamber match. I forgot to mention, I guess in the opening, the pre-show, we had the Kabuki Warriors who retained the women's tag team championships against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, who I think is an Australian native. Yep. So that was actually a really good match too. Candice LeRae has been having kind of like hit and miss matches when it comes to like television tag matches, but I thought they both did really well for this one. I don't know where the Kabuki Warriors go from here. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where they go at WrestleMania. Perhaps it'll be like a fatal 4-way like tag team match, and you'll have 3 other tag teams face them at WrestleMania. That's what I see.
Holla holla.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Did you guys catch the Judgment Day versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate? That for me was the match of the night. The women's have the best chamber match, but I thought the tag team match was the best match of the night. And if you guys didn't catch it, Pete, man, I've been sleeping on Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate too, because they can really work and they do a lot of more technical stuff. And I mean, honestly, and flipping stuff. Also, he needs knee pads because he's gonna fuck up his knees if he's doing that crazy shit with just his Timbs or whatever and no knee pads. But like just the way they go about, like they understand how to move in the ring. Like it just seems so smooth. The submission moves, where they work the fingers and I was gonna say
British strong style.
Fit Finlay, yeah. Finn Balor was really selling, the attacks on his fingers, and I honestly thought that maybe they would win the title belts just because I thought they were doing such a really good job in the match, but they lost. Judgment Day retained with a little help from Dominic Mysterio and folks around the ring. Did you guys catch, David? Did you see that tag match?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I liked it. Like going back to Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, it's like we've missed a lot of their career under the WWE umbrella because they're kind of stuck in NXT UK for a long time.
Right.
And
I didn't watch that.
and I think that Pete Dunne, I wouldn't say like he lost a lot of weight or like aura from being Butch, but I think I think in long term that was a funny way to bring him in. Like the guy that he is now is a better representation of him than Butch ever was.
Yep. What do you think of the newer or the new name of their group? I forgot. Is it Catch Wrestling?
The Catch Republic.
Catch Republic. There you go. It seemed for me initially it sounded like a clothing line, and I think maybe Corey Graves or someone said that before.
Banana Republic.
Yeah, it's like Banana Republic or American Eagle or something.
Simon Miller's been saying they're from Star Wars since they have the Republic in their name.
I mean, I think it's a cool. I think it's a cool.
It's
name.
a play on, I guess, an old group they're a part of, which I unfortunately know nothing about.
And I mean, it's also kind of ties into like the old school pro wrestling, like catch wrestling.
Yeah, the Finleys,
terminology
Regals.
that they used. Yeah. So I think I really hope they do eventually win the title belts. I don't know who the Judgment Day is going to face at WrestleMania.
Awesome.
I think that might be a
truth.
possibility. Maybe they'll also get like a fatal 4-way or triple threat, a bunch of tag teams. Just do tornado tag, just go insane and just let them, go at it. And hopefully, I mean, Judgment Day, I don't know if they'll retain at WrestleMania. I think they're going to lose.
I think
if it's Awesome Truth or, Catch Republic.
Awesome Truth's going to get a bigger pop than Cody.
You think so?
They might.
I feel like they will get a big pop. I don't know about bigger than Cody Rhodes, but
I don't know. Give R-Truth.
Man, R-Truth deserves his flowers. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. And
he was the biggest return of Survivor Series.
The biggest return. I mean, also just the way that he just kind of seamlessly blends into, like, if he gets kicked out of Judgment Day. I forgot. I guess DIY is also there. Maybe there. Maybe DIY is going to win the belts, but
DX.
He said,
DX,
"I can't
yeah.
believe I got saved by DX."
like they got what they wanted out of Judgment Day, and then they're just like, okay, let's do like a DX thing. And maybe in the creative writing thing, they're like, you know what, let's just make them like pretend they're all these like these factions from the 90s and just have them keep trying to be in all these factions that used to exist.
NWO.
Next time he sees The
Yeah,
Rock,
it'll be
he's
NWO
gonna
next.
Nation.
He's gonna do Nation of Domination. See, exactly. I want to see R-Truth interact with The Rock, like a heel Rock, and then R-Truth just still be like that clueless person. Like you said, he showed up. I don't know if you guys saw that social media clip. Showed up in Austria. He's like, all right, I'm here, guys. There's nobody here.
Oh, I didn't see that shit. You said Austria?
Yeah, because he thought that's what they meant instead of Australia.
That's funny. The cerebral assassin Triple H, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels.
I mean, yeah, he
80 pounds
deserves
lighter
another
and 6
belt.
inches shorter.
Yeah, right. The Gilbert version.
Gotta get on that dick shirt. That's gotta be selling like hotcakes.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love, and a dick shirt. I'm curious what they would do with like NWO with R-Truth if they
hell
start doing
no.
it too.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Still better than NWO 2000.
Yeah.
It was like the silver.
With boy shirt.
Bret Hart, Jeff Jarrett.
Man. There were like 30 people in NWO at one point. Like everyone had a freaking NWO shirt.
It was like the red and black, and then
Wolfpack.
NWO
they combined.
Yeah.
NWO Gold.
So there was a segment. So basically, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins didn't have a match at Elimination Chamber, but they still showed up at the PLE. They had a segment on the Grayson Waller effect because I'm sure they wanted to get Grayson in front of the Australian crowd in some form or fashion. Austin Theory was there for some reason. I don't think he was necessary, but I guess because he's buddies with them and maybe he needed backup, that's why he was also there. But he was trying to do his best Rock impersonations. I thought it fell a little flat, but he was just there to take a bump from the other two guys. It didn't work out as well as I thought it was, but the biggest thing from that specific interview was Cody Rhodes basically challenging The Rock to a one-on-one match. And that seemed like an inevitability. But the interesting thing was he framed it in a way where he was saying it would happen between now and WrestleMania 40. So somewhere on a Raw or SmackDown, he wants to challenge The Rock to a one-on-one match, which is crazy. And obviously, my selfish ass wants to see that on the Raw in Chicago.
Again.
Do you guys think that's going to happen? Do you think that they're actually going to do like a money match like Rock versus Cody Rhodes on free TV?
I think it's possible. But
I seen Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson on TV.
That's true, but that's also Tony Khan booking too.
Yeah, but
puts
that's
all his
something they
stars.
They'll do it once in a while.
Finished. Yeah, just do it. Just really.
We very well could be there. I mean, the WWE actually very much loves the Allstate Arena. A lot of the wrestlers hold it up to a very high regard as one of their favorite stadiums to perform at. Actually,
Triple H talks about the
really
acoustics.
Big wrestling town. Yeah, they really like the
wooden ceilings.
The Stone Cold even said it actually in his podcast. He was with the Undertaker and he said, "Yeah, we do a lot of like the bigger dome like arenas or the outdoor ones for WrestleMania." But he's like, honestly, one of my favorite spots was Madison Square Garden, and he's like, and he actually said Rosemont.
Rosemont Horizon, baby.
Rosemont Horizon.
When did they switch to the Allstate Arena? Was that like mid 2000s?
Early 2000s.
I know it would have had to been early 2000s because by the time we saw No Mercy,
WrestleMania 22,
it was Allstate Arena.
Yeah, when I went in 2002, it was already Allstate.
Oh, really? So it must have been like 1999 or 2000 then.
Super early 2000s, late 90s.
And I'm surprised that name has lasted that long because I feel like a bunch of these other arenas, they always keep changing. Like it'd be the Smoothie King Arena, and then it's like the Credit One Bank Arena or whatever, and they keep switching some of these names.
That's all sponsors, and then like,
it is.
In terms of, I mean, Chris knows he has to pass the fucking Rosemont all the time. It's like things over there, they kind of stay popping. Like especially the Allstate Arena. Like I'd only see a sponsor leave if things were going bad. It's kind of like the United Center. The United Center's been the United Center its whole tenure.
Yeah, that's true. And they also they sound like good names, like the Allstate Arena, maybe because it's AA, or the United Center. Like it's the United Center because of the airline, but it just sounds cool. Like I said, versus like Smoothie King Center, and that's not cool.
Or even like look at LA. LA went back in the day for them it was the Los Angeles Forum, but now it's the Kia Center.
Yeah, but Kia Center still sounds pretty cool too.
It doesn't sound as cool as the Forum.
No, that's true. But yeah, Chicago's a big wrestling town, so I would like to hope that The Rock and Cody Rhodes, if they are going to do a match, which would be crazy, between now and WrestleMania, do it at the Allstate because I want to see it.
Hell yeah!
I mean, yeah,
that'd be insane. And also, like, if you want acoustics and if you want a vibe, like if you want a crowd to hype you up for WrestleMania, the Allstate Arena in Chicago, like if you look no further than what just happened with like CM Punk and Survivor Series, or when Randy Orton came out during Survivor Series, or just out, yeah, exactly, or R-Truth, that whole show was like hot. So definitely do it there. So hopefully our speculation becomes reality, and maybe we'll get some more clarification on the Raws to come. I also have a feeling that The Rock will just be heel and say, no, I'm not going to face you on free TV because I'm worth more than that, and I would put it on like a pay-per-view. I feel like he might respond in that way, so we'll see.
SummerSlam.
Could always pull a Danielson and work 2 matches at Mania.
That's true, but you also don't want The Rock to get injured because I feel like he got injured the last time that he wrestled in WWE. So maybe they're just trying to hold onto the one match, and if he gets injured, it is what it is, but at least they got the match out of him.
All
at
those
WrestleMania.
fucking baby tendons from all those steroids.
Yeah, exactly. So we had the Judgment Day, we had the Kabuki Warriors, so we have the men's elimination chamber, and I think a lot of us in the last podcast we predicted that Drew McIntyre was going to win, and thankfully that's what happened. And I thought that was the right decision made for Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre has been on a roll. Like, he understands what his character is, and he has molded it in a way where it's just so good. Like, he makes his character makes complete sense, but he also adds that additional layer of just being like one of the people. I think Sean Ross Sapp was like, there should be like a player hater of the year award, because there were so many guys that are just like pure like assholes and just really good at it this year, and Drew McIntyre should win that award. DM Hunk. I mean, he pull out a marker and like put like tears on the Cody Rhodes on the truck of like the production truck. You know, like the whole thing with CM Punk saying how he prayed for it to happen and it came true. They made a shirt out of it with him crying over the graveyard of his WrestleMania career. Like, just top tier stuff.
Nastiest hater.
Nastiest hater, and he should win the belt. He deserves it. He won the W championship. It was in the Thunderdome, like in front of nobody. He deserves to win a title in front of 70,000 plus people. He deserves it. What did you guys think of the results? Do you feel like that was the right decision?
Yeah. I mean, that was my prediction.
Yeah, that was my prediction.
It had to be him. It couldn't have been anybody else in that thing.
I mean, it could have, but I mean, I feel like it made the most sense. And in that chamber, they also set up a bunch of other feuds, which, again, this is something WWE has been doing really well. Is Randy Orton, like, there were people who lost, but they kind of saved them in the way that they lost, like LA Knight getting attacked by AJ Styles, and that's why he got pinned. So, and that's the other thing, like AJ Styles, like a lot of people were making that comment on social media that he flew 12 hours, paid $1,000+ to get on an airplane in Australia just to show up and just hit LA Knight in the head with a chair and make him lose. Like, that's other nastiest player hater of the year, like nomination worthy stuff. You know, you're just showing up because you hate him that much.
He thought he would.
Exactly. Well, he probably thought that, like, again, like he'd get there faster because the Earth is flat, and you know,
he should have just dug a hole from his backyard in Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. Dug a hole and got to Australia faster. But yeah, and then we saw a potential setup with Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. Logan Paul had brass knuckles. He got RKO'd out of nowhere, got pinned. He brought the brass knuckles in, and that's the other thing. I don't know why the Elimination Chamber door was still open. Like, bitches, close that door. Like, why are these guys still coming back in and like knocking the shit out of people? But Logan Paul came back with those brass knuckles, knocked out Randy Orton. Kevin Owens has a feud with Logan Paul. While Logan Paul was in the pod, he also, like, I guess he has a lot of space in his junk because he was able to hold brass knuckles and a black marker and a bunch of other things, I guess. Like, it's like a Barney bag down there, apparently. But he basically, while he was waiting in the pod, he like drew demon horns, and then he drew like a stick figure of Kevin Owens and made him like fat, like did a big circle and it said Kevin Owens sucks, and like drew that on the pod.
Dick butt.
Yeah, well, Dick Butt was a meme that someone put on there. Which like, I was like, you could do a lot of stuff with that, because like the temple, the setup is so cool because you could do anything with, like, you know, the other thing he also put on the pod, that S that everyone did in elementary school.
He drew that.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
That's really good. So again, this was an entertaining men's Elimination Chamber match. I just thought the women's one was just a little bit better, but again, this entire show was super solid. Everyone won, you know, as expected, and you don't necessarily have to always swerve for swerve's sake. You know, you can do what makes the most logical sense, and here I think it made the most sense. The main event was Rhea Ripley versus well, not Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax.
Jack.
As the main event. And good on Triple H for making this actually the main event, because sometimes they're like, okay, well, they're in front of a hometown crowd, but I feel like a women's title match doesn't always get that main event treatment, and this one was well deserved. And Nia Jax, again, in this match, if you guys haven't seen this match, and for folks who haven't caught it on the podcast, definitely rewatch it, but she's also been just really good. She, her second run has been much better than her first.
Oh, by miles.
By miles. I mean, just her promo work and even her in-ring work. Like, she understands her capabilities and how her body works in the match. Like, she understands how to work. And Rhea Ripley, she did a great finisher on her. And yeah, spoiler alert, Rhea Ripley retains and she faces Becky Lynch. I thought that I feel like it could have gone the other way where Nia Jax retains or Nia Jax wins, because Becky Lynch does have history with her too. They had that whole feud thing leading up to their match, and I felt like it could have gone either way. But did you guys feel like Rhea Ripley was going to retain at Elimination Chamber?
Yeah. That was very good. Yeah.
I felt like it wasn't going to be one of those Vince things where, Vince used to make people lose in their hometown. Because he'd be like, oh, the heel's going to get over.
Which is thank God, because I feel like you sometimes just need a good moment and something to end the night on a good thing. And, she won, she retained. She went to her family. She had her sister there, her mom, her dad, I think an aunt or something. I don't know who else was there, but
there was like 14 relatives.
There were like 14 people, there in the front row.
Where was her man at? In the House of Black?
Oh, he wasn't there. I don't think he was there.
Probably watching from the back or something.
He was busy losing a Collision or something. But yeah, so that was basically the whole.
But he's also Australian.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Aussie? I wonder, he is in AEW, right? I'm not crazy.
No, yeah, he's Buddy Matthews, House of Black.
Yeah, so do you think he's ever going to come back to WWE?
If they bring Alistair with him. Or Malachi, depending how you know him.
Alistair, Malachi Black, yeah. Well, I mean, I hope that, that with Rhea Ripley winning and retaining, I think that she is going to retain at WrestleMania 40 and just keep holding on to it. I don't think Becky Lynch has to win the belt. This was Becky Lynch's first Elimination Chamber, I think. And she also did really well. So at least she got that little notch on her belt. And I don't know if it will main event either WrestleMania. I feel like if there is going to be a women's match, that main event, it's going to be Bayley versus Io Sky.
She's the Rumble winner, so.
Right, exactly. I mean, you would think that's how it should go, but we'll see. I don't even know if Bayley's going to main event, honestly. If you're going to have Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, that's going to main event night 2. If they're going to be doing a tag team match with The Rock, potentially, just based on the promo they've been doing, that's probably going to main event night 1, to be honest, unless they open the show with it. Does that count
as 2 times in one go for Roman Reigns to be the main event? Because he's main evented like 8 Manias, so we'll just make it 10.
That's true. I mean, that's how I would look at it, because it's technically 2 separate events. It is WrestleMania, but it's a night 1, night 2. It's two events. So
yeah,
we'll see. But overall, good show, and I think that's a wrap for this episode of the Chi-Town Shoot podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, rate us, and leave your feedback. Tune in next time for more wrestling madness. Until then, keep marking out.